You know, this might sound weird, but I bet Draken would do another set. It sounded like oh, I have to, I go, I go, I go, I go, Hello there, heroes. I'm the Orange Ranger, and welcome to another comically long review. Last time we hit something of an ending as the Rangers defeated Lord Draken and rescued Tommy and Billy, returning to their own universe. However, we saw that Draken survived that and was dragged into that universe with them. So, what happens now? Let's find out by taking a look at Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, issues number 17, 18, and 19. Oh me, oh my, we had a minor cover explosion for issue number 17, which got 9 of the things. Many of them are nice, but only 2 of them warrant specific mentioning for me. One is a shot of Billy and Tommy leaping into battle. Why is it significant? Well, besides the nice retro X-Men style, this is part of a 4-cover connecting gimmick, along with 2 issues of Go-Go Power Rangers, and don't worry, we're getting to Go-Go Power Rangers eventually, and an alternate cover for the 2017 annual. The other would be the regular comic store cover, which I really like. It's a nice picture of the tone of the story. The Zords are helping rebuild the command center, while Trainee and Alpha oversee things. Hey, it's time for everybody's favorite storytelling tool, Bulk's YouTube show. For the record, the show is called Ranger Station, which is probably an easier way to refer to it. Bulk explains that there haven't been any monster attacks or even sightings of Rita in months, but that doesn't mean the Rangers have been gone as well. The Rangers have been spotted around the globe, helping people in need. He explains that the media doesn't exactly trust the Rangers, especially after the latest incident involved them losing control of their Zords. However, it turns out the Rangers have quite the heavy hitter in their corner. Heroes, meet Grace Sterling. Sterling is basically this universe's Elon Musk, described by Bulk as an entrepreneur, futurist, and just a badass chica. She did an interview with a news station there saying her company Promethea has always had the mission of helping people impacted by outside threats like Rita. Indeed, the reporter tries to twist this against the Rangers, saying this has until now meant rebuilding cities where monsters and Zords have battled. But she won't take the bait, saying now that the attacks have stopped, they can focus their efforts on developing new approaches. The Power Rangers have saved the world. Now we want to make it a better place. Meanwhile, the Rangers are on a world that is not a better place. This sequence is actually very entertaining, and we see the Rangers work amazingly as a team. Basically, Kim and Trainee are on the ground, moving through the city after having collected some kind of staff. Jason is in the command center, guiding them and overseeing everything, while Alpha pilots the Pterodactyl Zord, acting as the getaway car. That's right, heroes, we're watching the Power Rangers pull off a heist. Besides the grunts on the ground that the girls are fighting, there also just so happens to be a tornado threatening the city. Zack and Tommy are on the scene with their Zords, although Tommy himself is on the ground evacuating people. As Jason guides the girls to an exit, Tommy teleports some survivors away and says they're gonna need to deal with the tornado. Billy is in his Zord and starts techno-battling about the tornado.
Now, you do know what a bilateral kelelactral is.
Well, of course I do, human. I am not stupid.
Tommy tells him to cut to the chase, and he says that they need to freeze the air in front of it. Zack just so happens to have a Zord that can blow cold air and moves in. The situation starts getting desperate as the girls dodge an explosion and then get surrounded, and the Mastodon Zord is having trouble staying in place. But Alpha swoops in, allowing the girls to tether up, and the Mastodon stands its ground and dissipates the tornado. Everyone is good, to Jason's relief. So I was expecting this to be some kind of training scenario, the Rangers staying sharp with Rita not attacking. But no, this actually really happened. The Rangers recovering a staff. Zordon's staff. And yes, for those of you wondering, it is Barza's staff. Were you expecting anything less at this point? So, long story short, Saba has Zordon's energy tethered, but to actually move him, they need a physical tether, and his staff is coded to his genetic makeup.
Okay, I guess that makes sense.
The Rangers catch us up on the past few months a little, the fact that the command center has been totally rebuilt, and just like Zack actually wanted, with no Rita around, the Rangers have been doing more, helping people all over the world. Saba and Alpha say they need more time to work on the Zordon thing, so the Rangers are free to go for now. Jason asks if anyone wants to train, but Zack says he has a family thing, and Billy says it's leg day for him and Tommy at the gym. Nice touch to see them hanging out after their shared experience. They agree to meet tomorrow, and Tommy takes a chance to say a quick hello to Kim, but immediately turns to Jason when he sees that he's not leaving. Jason tells them to go and have fun. He's just going to run a quick news scan. We see him with a troubled look as the headlines float around him in audio bubbles. Then it's over to the juice bar, where the gym is, I guess, as Billy and Tommy push themselves through a tough workout. They rest, and then we see just what's motivating them. You know, this might sound weird, but I bet Draken would do another set. It sounded like Alt Billy fought his heart out. Want to go again? Oh yeah.
Then we just want to pop you off.
Over to Kim's house, where she's busy trying to get her parents back together. She says her dad and his new girlfriend fight all the time, and neither of her parents have been able to make it work with anyone else, so why not try it again? Her mom says it's more complicated than that. When Kim says that it isn't, she asks why Kim and Matt aren't still talking. Meanwhile, Trini takes a look at her reading list, and the Elon Musk comparison may have been appropriate, as a biography of him is on her list, as is Grace Sterling's autobiography. She reads some of that and then closes it, saying, "What now?" The implication is that she finished it, but no, she's clearly only like halfway through it. She watches some of what seems to be a cheesy Transformers knockoff, but she hates it. Kim calls her and asks if she wants to go out. She does, and Kim has a great idea. Taking her for a ride on the pterodactyl Zord.
I can show you the world, shining, shimmering, splendid.
Using your powers for personal gain much? Yes, Zordon's not in the command center right now, but I'm pretty sure Alpha would have a thing or two to say. Anyway, the two of them trade notes on their dissatisfaction with life. Well, Trini talks about what we saw, being bored with life now that she's not a ranger every single day. Kim, however, talks about Jason, how he seems more stern than usual and has hardly left the command center. Cut over to the command center, where Zack finds Jason sound asleep. He wakes him up and says he's got to take a break sometime. So wait, why isn't Zack out taking a break? Well, he says maybe he got tired of taking a break and wanted to go help someone. Conveniently, the Earth does him a solid, shaking under Dubai and threatening to knock down the Infinity Tower. That's an over 1,000 foot tall building in Dubai that was renamed the Cayenne Tower after it was opened. The Megazord catches it while the Dragon Zord holds a flashlight. As they celebrate in the cockpit, lights shine in and a loud voice speaks to them. Nice work, Rangers. The people of Dubai are in your debt. Unfortunately, I think your downtime is about to end. My name is Grace Sterling, and we really need to talk. I really enjoyed this issue. This was a great way to establish the new status quo. The slight time jump is well explained, and we get great character moments for everyone. Actually, interestingly, operating in pairs with Trini and Kim, Billy and Tommy, and Zack and Jason. And clearly, this Grace Sterling is a new character that's going to have a major impact on the story. Issue 17 gets a 5 out of 5. Issue 18 calms back down with the covers, bringing it back down to a reasonable 4. I realized that the previous cover I mentioned featuring Tommy that I said was busy and kind of crazy is actually also a connecting cover series, as this issue also has one, and it just suddenly made me understand the concept. The main cover is pretty neat, with the Rangers jumping down from somewhere towards a camera. Kim is giving us Richard Nixon peace signs.
There's the president waving goodbye, and you hear the applause.
But I'd almost rather that one of her hands was out of the frame so she could be holding the camera. That would make this a really wicked selfie. Grace apologizes for just dropping in on the Rangers, but she's got a little problem and just happened to be in the neighborhood. So she figured she'd talk to them in person. She tells them that a plane went down in the Carpathian Mountains recently, one of her planes. Jason says he heard about that, and in a nice touch, back in issue 17, when he was listening to the news reports, there was mention of a plane that had still not been found. She says they were out there basically making 3D Google Maps or something, and reported spotting a dense purple fog before they crashed. She used some proprietary satellites that she's really dodgy about describing to show the Rangers that she found a village, undetectable by normal scanning technology and invisible to the naked eye, not found on any map. So, a hidden village is a mystery, a conversation piece. Why does this involve the Power Rangers? Ground-level intel taken that day shows that Finster has been in the village. Grace repeats how gosh darned lucky it was that they met there, because this seems far more up the Rangers' alley than the Romanian government's. The Rangers teleport to the village and look around. The architecture is old, but the buildings are all pristine and empty, despite Grace having said there was a population. Kimberly points out that if Finster is around, he's probably in that big creepy castle over there. Suddenly, two men with shadows for eyes show up and ask if they're looking for the Master, calling him wonderful and their saviors, and "Come, let us take you to the Master." Yes, Kim, this is creepy. The men lead the Rangers into the castle with more creepy talk about how amazing the Master is. The Rangers quickly piece together that Finster is the Master, and Jason promises to help them. But Finster then appears, saying his villagers are perfect, and that it seems Miss Sterling and her pilots have gotten the Rangers here a little sooner than he was anticipating. The Rangers ask where Rita is, but Finster doesn't know, saying Rita has given him some much-needed time alone. He asks the Rangers if they like them, but the Rangers don't know what he means, so he demonstrates, and all of the villagers turn into putties. The Rangers are overwhelmed by numbers, so they form the Power Blaster and blast a bunch of them away. Finster calls over to the two men, and they transform into Toka and Razor? No, just something that looks like a big bone turtle and some kind of ox, pig, boar thing. The Rangers know they're being stalled, so Jason and Tommy say they need to get inside, and Trini tells them to go. They quickly find the pilots, but Jason notices something. These pilots look exactly like the villagers. Finster can clearly make things that look human, so they can't be sure the pilots are real. Meanwhile, single-page spread of the other Rangers fighting the monsters, who actually get names: Carmadillo, so not a turtle, I guess, and Boarlock. Okay, boars don't have horns. Back with the prisoners, they say they are real, they insist that they are, and really it hardly changes anything at this point, so they free them and start escaping, the Rangers asking the pilots what's going on. The pilots say they were tortured, Finster calling it study, and also saying he said it was good that Miss Sterling was after him. After him? She didn't mention him specifically. But oh yes, Finster shows up and says she's been quite the thorn in his side, firing green gas at the Rangers and prisoners that imprisons them in some kind of rock. Back outside, Boarlock fires a freezing attack at Trini, but she dodges and it hits Carmadillo. Kim knocks away the staff, Zach makes a bad pun, and the Rangers have the upper hand. Back inside, Finster explains his plan. He wanted to do monsters disguised as humans for a while, but humans are very complex to simulate. But then Miss Sterling sent her pilots over, giving him 2 perfect test subjects to practice with. He starts to say that he's become very successful at something, but then Jason reaches his blaster, blasting free of the stuff they were captured in. At the same time, the other Rangers bust in, and Finster surrenders. Grace congratulates the Rangers on a job well done, and says she could even make the town into a refugee center. Billy points out that she's got a lot of staff, and that leads to her bringing them a proposal that she wanted to make, making the Rangers part of her staff.
I'm here to talk to you about the Avenger Initiative.
Okay, maybe nothing so formal, just making this temporary partnership a little more permanent. Promethea has resources that could point the Rangers at trouble more efficiently than just watching the news and jumping to action. Jason appreciates it, but says the Rangers are independent and they can't really involve civilians. She takes it in good grace, and says to call if they change their mind. Oh, by the way, Jason does ask her about Finster. She plays off what he says, just saying that they got intel that one of Rita's lieutenants was on Earth, so they tried to find him, and they did. That lieutenant is sitting in a room with a window to the command center's workshop where Saba and Alpha are working on the Zordon situation. He teases that he can help if they would just open the window, but they brush him off. Zack returns to the command center later, scaring the crud out of Jason. They have a similar conversation to before, Zack saying Jason can't do this all himself, and Jason asking him what he's doing there then. But this time, Zack is not being a hypocrite, he wants to talk. He tells Jason that he thinks they should accept Grace's offer. Promethea has the resources to point them in the right direction, and keep Jason from monitoring news channels 24/7. Jason says that Zordon will be back soon, but Zack says that's not a guarantee. Alpha and Saba have been at it for a while, and even they don't know how long it's going to take. But this is interrupted by something that's really freaking chilling. A news report cuts in, talking about how witnesses said a person was just walking around, looking like an everyday normal human being, before bursting into a monster form and attacking. Yes, Finster's creations are loose on Earth. This issue feels kind of like a standalone that serves as a transition, if that makes any sense. We've gotten just a little bit of the Rangers basically acting like the Avengers, responding to danger wherever they found it, and this issue with the village story now serves to introduce Grace, Promethea, and the Rangers feeling like maybe they should go legit while still telling a very self-contained story. It moved a little slowly, but overall it was still pretty good. Issue 18 gets a 4 out of 5. Issue 19 has 6 covers. 2 of them are these New York Comic Con exclusives. 2 notes on these. 1, they give me a really Bohemian Rhapsody vibe.
Easy come, easy go, little high, little low.
2, these are called Gold Edition and Green Edition based on their colors. The funny thing is, the Green Edition doesn't actually include the Green Ranger. There's also a really nicely drawn cover where we see the 5 Rangers, Zordon, and Scorpina in a photorealistic style that reveals there seems to be something of an intentional artistic distancing where the Rangers in the comic clearly evoke the actors but aren't one-to-one representations of how they looked on the show. The main cover is the Megazord surrounded by helicopters. Uh-oh, am I sensing some tension between the Rangers and Promethea? In Barcelona, Spain, a man walks through the streets when suddenly he realizes it's o'clock and he turns into a giant sloth monster. Okay, I don't mention this a whole ton, but my 9 to 5 is working at a theme park that has animals, a zoological theme park. Near the stores I work at, there is a sloth named Oscar. Therefore, no matter what they call this thing, his name is Oscar. As Oscar tears up Barcelona, Kimberly's dad takes her out to breakfast. She senses that there has to be a reason for this, and he admits that there is. He's going to propose to his girlfriend, and he really wants Kim to give her a chance. Then he spots Tommy, and being a classic dad, calls him over and offers him to join them. Tommy begs out, and they're saved by their matching watch ringtones. You know, that's an excuse that just didn't exist in 1993. Billy comes downstairs as his mother is watching footage of him and Tommy being rescued from rubble on a tablet. He says he's going for a run, and she's all mother hen, saying to stay safe and to text her. On the run, Trini explains that she's just worried since there's no way for her to know that he and Tommy teleported under that rubble to be found. Okay, I guess they had to do something. Then the two of them get called to the battle. Jason and Zach were already there, which fits with them being in the command center earlier, and explain this is actually one of two monsters currently attacking. The other one is in Toronto. Jason has Tommy and the girls, who literally just teleported in, to head over to Toronto. There, they find a crow monster named Croverlord, who seems to have electrical powers. Meanwhile, the other three Rangers fight the Goth Sloth, and Oscar here has the ability to make them slow down. Oscar smacks the slow Rangers around, while Croverlord blocks some shots from Kim and smacks Tommy around. Jason jumps at Oscar, but he's too slow, and Oscar redirects him right at Zach. Billy does something kind of clever and really rather ballsy, shooting Zach to move him out of the way. Getting shot actually gives Zach an idea. He calls Kimberly and asks her to tell him when Croverlord is preparing for a big charge. Conveniently, that's happening right now, so Zach grabs Oscar. I guess he's naturally slow, so it's more of an even speed thing, and teleports to Toronto, landing right in front of Croverlord. Oscar takes the full blast and blows up. Your namesake at work was cheering for you, Oscar. Kudos. Down to just one monster, the full team of Rangers has no trouble. The Rangers interrogate Finster later, wanting to know how many of these he's made, where they are, and when they're going to change. He cannot answer any of those questions, and it's not evasiveness, it's his obsession with art. He can't remember how many he made, he let them go wherever they wanted to, and when they change is random, because that makes this really sort of like a messed up flash mob, random art. The Rangers then go over their options. Alpha and Saba are still days away from retrieving Zordon, and Billy doesn't even know what to track to find these people before they change into monsters. Zach has an idea of who could help, but Jason reiterates that they will not involve civilians in this. Then a civilian rings their doorbell. Literally, the command center's proximity alarm goes off, and Grace is standing outside.
Avon calling.
She demands to talk to Zordon. The Rangers wonder how she's even there, but then she says hello to Alpha, who knows her. The way she knows where the command center is, and about Alpha and Zordon, is that Grace was Zordon's Red Ranger. Issue 19 is a good mixture of story and action. We get two pretty nice monster fights which help reveal the terrifying idea that there are monster sleeper agents all over the world just waiting to transform. Great scene with Finster revealing his madness and the fact that that makes this a truly random situation, and then we get that whammy right at the end that Grace Sterling has been a Power Ranger. Issue 19 gets a 4 out of 5. Next time, we'll be starting off with an every 5th issue, and the hook in 19 points at some very interesting backstory indeed. We'll also see how the Rangers deal with the sleeper agent situation, and if they end up accepting Prometheus' help, when I take a look at Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, issues number 20, 21, and 22. For now, that's going to do it for another comically long review. Thank you, heroes, so much as always for watching. Make sure to smack that thumbs up button right down below. Let me know that you liked the video. While you're down there, head over to the comments and let me know what you thought of this review and of these issues of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers comic. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel to see all my videos and ring the bell. Get your notifications set up so you are notified of whenever I post brand new videos like these comically long reviews. And if you would like to donate financially to my channel in any amount, there are two ways that you can do so. ko-fi.com/OrangeRangerVideos or digitaltipjar.com/OrangeRangerVid. Until next time, heroes, may the power protect you. The sequence is very entertaining, and we see the Ranger, one of her planes. He asks if he, yeah, that take was going off the rails anyway. And the pilot asks if he firing green, Issue 17 gets a 4 out of 5. It was issue 18. There's also a really nicely drawn cover where we see the 5 Rangers, Zordon, and Scorpina in photorealistic photo.